Which now brings us to the seventh parable. Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. Joseph Smith's interpretation of this parable was that this is the great judgment day. It's the idea being when missionaries go out into the world, when prophets, seers, and revelators go out into the world, their job is to gather of every kind into the gospel net, to bring them into the ship. And it's once we have gathered everybody, then it's the Lord's job to do the separating. We don't have a net that distinguishes between good fish and bad fish and only catches the good fish. It brings in everybody. And once again, it's our choice. We're not a victim of the net. It's our choice whether we're good fish or bad fish. We can change. We can make those choices for eternity. We can decide today what kind of a person we want to be. We don't need to be held hostage by what kind of a person we were or even what kind of a person we are right now. We can decide to make shifts and adjustments in the way we're living our life so that at that judgment day, we're not cast off, but we're gathered in.
And in Jesus' day, he's in the Galilee regions, right there on the Sea of Galilee. People would have understood what he's talking about. The fishermen, often when they had these large nets, they would haul in, there's lots of species of fish that are in the Sea of Galilee. Some are delicious, like for example, St. Peter's tilapia is incredible, just watch out for the eye. Or there are other fish that really weren't very good at all. So when fishermen would haul this into shore, they would then have to, or even on the boat, wherever they would bring out in the fish, they would have to separate out. There was good fish, clearly this is fish that we can sell in the marketplace that we want to eat. But there was also other fish that just wasn't good and they'd have to throw it out. So people would have been super familiar with all of these kinds of activities. So earlier on when we talked about parables, you have concrete and abstract. The concrete, people would have seen this entire process of catching fish and throwing out the ones people don't want to eat, keeping the ones you do. And then Jesus wants people to go home and in their lives think about this, like, how does this work in my life? And so some of the ideas that we've been sharing here could build upon your own thoughts and insights about what God is trying to do for you.